It seems that the European Union is fighting back when it comes to steel tariffs. They've raised their own levies to 50%. Is this the sort of escalation that precedes negotiation when you're dealing with President Trump?
I mean, I think that that's a fair argument there. If you're looking potentially at sort of how other nations or, other blocs and such have kind of tried to approach these types of tariffs. I mean, look at China, for example, just kind of raising its own. What we're talking about with this particular EU one, those plans to hike steel tariffs on steel imports of 50%, again, that's sort of according to some draft proposals here. I think that if you're several of these, types of, you're trying to deal with some of these negotiations, you're certainly looking at different avenues you have in terms of negotiating with the Trump administration. Again, I think this kind of points to this idea that, a lot of these trade negotiations have been going on for the better part of this entire year, right? Just because you don't necessarily have levies, if you can kind of figure out some kind of a strategy to bring, the U.S. back to the negotiating table, I think that, if you're any of these blocs in this situation, you're kind of pursuing that idea. So, we'll see whether, that ultimately ends up working out for the EU. But again, I think just kind of points to the fact that a lot of these trade negotiations are incredibly complicated, and it does seem like there's still more to come.